Yeah. Well, I'll just project until it starts up. But yeah, so I lost my hat on Independence Rock in Wyoming, actually. It just blew right off my head. I was like, wow, this wind is pretty tough. Should probably take my hat off, and then second, it was gone. I was like, all right, that's my favorite hat, but you know, sometimes that was. Oh wait, shoot, I didn't turn it on. That's why. My bad. Yeah.
Yes, Randy!
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, all right, I'll just get into it. So, I'm Randy. I am a junior here on campus. I am a philosophy major with a religious studies emphasis and a comm and music minor. It's a long title, but that's who I am. Yeah, so God has truly blessed me with so many things in my life, but it hasn't always been easy. So, I was raised in Indigo, Wisconsin. I was raised in a home that was built around our faith. My family attended church every single Sunday before I was even born. My father was the biggest reason that I'm a Christian today. He always had something to say whenever I had a question. He always put it to Christ and helped me keep my faith as a child and coming up into it. And it wasn't until middle school until like life really started to hit me, and it came with its challenges. So I'm a soft-hearted guy. I kind of let everything get to me in certain ways. And so I was picked on in middle school for being a big guy, being a bigger kid. Picked on for kind of not speaking before. Oh, geez. Speaking before I thought, and I was also picked on sometimes for being a Christian, and so it was really tough. I sat alone at a lunch table by myself, and then during recess I would sit alone on the bench. Most of the time, granted, it was for attention, trying to get people to come to me, but I dealt with depression really hard. I felt like I was always alone, and I felt like no one was there for me, and that I didn't have a purpose in this life. And so it was really tough going through middle school and going into high school. And so I didn't really have any friends in my grade in middle school, but the one thing that I did look forward to every single year was a place called Camp Luther. So when I was in 5th grade, my church paid for me to go to a camp. It's a Missouri Synod Lutheran camp up in 3 Lakes. And so I went there in my 5th grade, and I was terrified. I was like, I don't want to leave my parents for a whole entire week, go to a camp, a place I don't even know anyone there. But I met my best friends there that I'm still in contact with, and it was so impactful. And I kept going every single summer. And then it came to a time where I was sophomore, and summer after my sophomore year, I went there as a junior counselor. So junior counselor, you're there for 2 weeks. It's high schoolers, and you're pretty much like the camper's best friend. And so the counselors are like the parents, and they have to do all the responsibilities and stuff like that. So, and it was then that like my faith became mine. I started reading the Bible, I started living it out, understanding a little bit more about it, and it came true to be mine. And so I went into high school, going into the gift that God gave for me in music, and singing and playing percussion. And so I found good friends through music and got into theater and stuff like that. And so it was good, but at the same time, I constantly felt like I was alone. I constantly felt like, what's my purpose? Why am I here? Like, why am I constantly picked on, bullied for this stuff? It's really getting to me, and it was testing my faith. So I went into college majoring in music because I felt like that was my calling. I felt that I was good at and what I needed to do. And so, but the thing was that when I got into college, I was like, all right, so start over. It's time to start over again. I want people to like me. And I don't think who I am is good enough. And so I started to hang out with people who weren't Christians. I started to go to parties. And my music took over my life. I practiced so much, and I went to recitals, and I studied, but I didn't go to church. I didn't study the Bible. I didn't listen to Christian music. I didn't do anything. I put my faith in the background, and everything else in the forefront. So then it came around the time to apply to be a counselor, which is there for the entire summer at Camp Luther. And so I applied, but I didn't get in. And that was a dream job that I had since 5th grade. And that was one of the biggest blows in my life. I was so down. I didn't go to any of my classes. I was like, why? It's something I've always wanted. And so then it was a wake-up call. I was like, all right, well, I'm not living my faith. So I started reading my Bible. I started talking to my friends from camp. I started listening to Christian music again. And I got into my faith. And 10 weeks later, they sent me an email, and I got the job. And I was like, I read over the email like 10 times. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, I got the job? Like, that's insane. And so then I went to camp, and it changed my life. So my faith wasn't just a part of my life. It was the forefront now. I was living it out, and it was amazing, and I loved it so much. And so I came back to school, and I got a knock on my door, and they're like, there's some Cru Knudsen Bible study leaders, and they're like, hey, do you want to come to Cru? And I always thought about coming to Cru, but I didn't really want to go because I didn't want to go alone. And so I was like, all right, it's a Thursday night, I'm not doing anything, let's do it. So I went to Cru, and it was the first Cru of the year, and I just kept coming after that. I started meeting people, started getting into it, but it didn't really become a part of my life until I sent it and went to Fall Getaway. When I went to Fall Getaway, I met so many awesome people, and I got into the community, and it was awesome, and then they got me involved with Bible study, and I kept going after that, and it was so great being able to live out my faith at campus for the first time. I didn't get to do that last year of my freshman year. But the entire time I started questioning being a music major. I was like, is this for me? Do I really have the passion anymore to do this? And I started questioning it. And then I went to Cru Winter Conference. And at Cru Winter Conference, I not only was my faith in the forefront, but I surrendered myself to my faith. And for me, that meant going into ministry as a career. I wanted to go into youth ministry and devote everything that I do from here on out to Christ. So that was a big step for me. And so then I went back to camp the next summer as a second-year counselor, and that's when I knew I made the right choice, preaching to those kids and teaching them about God, and what I knew was amazing. It was great. And so that's my story. If that resonated with you, and if you just want to learn more about me and just meet me, I'll be in the back of the Cru. Thank you.